This video isn't for everyone. It's for the filmmakers who want to get it done. It's for the writers, the directors, the producers, the grips, the gaffers, the DPs, the PAs, all those people who are tired of waiting and want to make a movie, want to get into the business, want to know what it's really like. Welcome to Diary of a Filmmaker. My name is Jose Prendes. Thank you for joining me on this inaugural episode. It is raining right now. It is January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year. It is currently 1:41 a.m. I tried to go to the gym, start the new year right. They're closed. They open at 5 a.m. So won't be doing that. But you and I are here discussing filmmaking. Moved inside because, well, it's raining and the gym is closed. So plan B. It's always important to have a plan B. First piece of advice there for you. Now, what is this vlog exactly? Well, I plan to come at you in a respectful way 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The idea of the vlog is as much to light a fire under myself, keep myself honest in the public eye with my work ethic and my, my struggles and all that. I mean, this is going to be a warts and all kind of vlog situation, but I'm also going to try to share as much advice from my over 20 years experience in indie filmmaking. I've got 12 films under my belt, maybe more. Honestly, when you get to a point where you lost track, I think you're doing pretty well. I'm not a beginner. I will say this. I'm not a beginner. I've, certainly been at it for a while, but I'm not Christopher Nolan. I'm not Steven Spielberg. And that's honestly the reality of filmmaking, is that you can go in expecting to be Stanley Kubrick, and you're going to maybe end up being a grip. And there's nothing wrong with being a grip, by the way. That's an incredible field. The grips are incredibly necessary. But, delusions of grandeur can really set a career off on the wrong foot. And being realistic is important, and it's something that I will try to impart. I'm not going to credit dump right now, so I'm not going to talk about the films that I've made. There's a link to my IMDb in the description. You can go check it out and see some of the films that I've made. Needless to say, though, over 20 years as a writer, director, producer in this industry, and I'm essentially kind of where I started. And this is honestly one of the hardest truths about filmmaking nowadays, indie filmmaking. You're not necessarily able to judge your progress by how many films you've made, IMDb credits, things like that. I mean, there's people who've made 50 movies, 100 movies, and they still struggle to pay the rent. That is a reality. And if it's discouraging to you, then go find something else to do. But if you're that person, that filmmaker, that person who's like, nothing you say can ever change my mind, and awesome. I don't want to change your mind. I want to help you. The whole point is to not document success necessarily, but to document the process of becoming a filmmaker, of living as a filmmaker, of actually being an independent filmmaker, the trials and tribulations, warts and all, the good, the bad, and the ugly of filmmaking. You're going to hear it all from me. Most filmmaking channels don't ever really deal with the middle. This is where I would sort of position myself. I'm in the middle of my filmmaking career, hopefully still in the beginning. I consider myself still a young lad, but I'm in the middle. And a lot of filmmaking channels are either hyping you up, yeah, you can do it, go ahead, you can be the next Nolan, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes those people haven't banked the experience to be able to do things like that, to be able to say that to you. So, take all that with a grain of salt. I am in the middle. This channel will document what it really feels like to be a working filmmaker, to try to pay the bills, to try to get stuff done, to write a spec script, to try to get it out there, and chart that process when it comes to indie filmmaking. That's something that doesn't really get talked about because it's painful and it's awkward and it's unfun, but it's real, baby. It's real. And if you want to be a part of this, you gotta know everything. So yeah, most filmmaking advice comes from people who've either made it, they got an Oscar, or they've got one big movie under their belt, whatever. Even those people struggle, to be honest. Even those people struggle. Or it comes from people who've never even tried it, or, theoretically have tried it. My screenwriting teacher had written a script, and he got a movie made. Tarantino produced it. Awesome. But that was it. My other film professors had not made a movie before, and I was learning from them. Obviously beggars can't be choosers, but that's just what it is. Sometimes The people trying to teach you things aren't the people that have been there, you know. And I'm not necessarily gonna be a guru. I'm not necessarily gonna hype you up. I'm on your side. I hope you succeed, but I'm gonna be honest. That's the number one thing I'm gonna promise you right now. This channel, all these videos are gonna be honest about my process and about how you can approach your own process. You know, creative life is a tough life, and there's a lot of people not giving you advice when it comes to the actual work. A lot of advice comes from people who aren't in the trenches. I'm in the trenches. I'm in the trenches with you. As a matter of fact, first piece of advice right now, right off the bat. You ready for this? Here we go. Most people fail because they give up. They walk away. It gets too hard. They give it a year. You know, nothing really materialized. I wrote this script. It went this way. You know, a couple guys liked it, and it didn't sell. Oh, you know, I had a meeting at MGM. By the way, I did have a story for another time. But we'll talk about studio meetings. We'll talk about, you know, screenplay contests, film festivals. We'll talk all about that. I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty and all that. That's going to be covered. What the fuck was I? Oh, yeah, advice. Most people fail because they give up. They disappear. They walk away. They don't stick it out. And now, look, like I've said, this career is hard. The creative life is really difficult. It will beat you down. But if you love it, if you need it, and you know, right now watching this, I don't know you very well, but leave a comment if it's you. You know if this creative life is for you. If you love this thing, you've got to stick it out no matter what. No matter what. We're going to talk about screenwriting, writing days, good days, bad days. You know, as a writer-director, I love to control my own cinema whenever possible, my own movies. So that's always hard because you have producers giving you notes and it changes the way you think about stuff. And we'll talk about that. Hey, I'm working on this. Now the notes are this. And now I got to figure out how to get from point A to point D. But it doesn't make sense to go to point D. Anyway, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, into the weeds when those assignments pop up. But, you know, we'll talk about budgets. We'll talk about meetings, you know, that go nowhere, or setting up lunches. And, oh, this happened, but it didn't really work out. Like, so I'm trying to position that and this. You know, you got to be Machiavelli a little bit, but a nicer person. You know, second rule: be a good person, be a nice person, somebody people want to work with. It's a small town. Don't be an asshole. We're going to talk about discipline. We're going to talk about momentum versus stagnation, which, you know, can kill you as a creative person, and the emotional toll of being a creative person. You know, I've got a family. I've got a wife, kids. It's hard. It's draining. I'm on YouTube. I've got 2 more channels as well that I'm working on, and it's a grind. Everything is a grind, but it all has to be a grind for a purpose. That's the important thing. Advice number 3. There you go. Grind for a purpose, not for money, not for fame. Creative satisfaction, I think, is mine. So I wanted to start the channel January 1st of 2026. New year, new me, well, not new me, I guess it's the same career, but new resolutions, right? Let me know your resolutions down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys got going on. Here's what I want to do this year. I want to direct a film. I want to write 3 scripts that are going to get produced. And I'm going to write a children's book. Again, I'm not a beginner, so I'm in a different position than most people. I have access to producers and, you know, people who are open to taking scripts, and I've written books before. The publishing is going to be tricky, but we'll work it out. That's what the year's about. We've got stuff to do. The book is probably going to be harder to do than make the movies, to be honest. Those are my big resolutions, at least the things that I'm going to be focusing on this channel. Being a freelance independent filmmaker is scary as hell because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I can get a call tomorrow. Hey, I need a script for this. I can get a call the next month. Hey, we're going into production on something. We need a director. It's happened before. Again, I'm not saying these resolutions like they're guaranteed. Of course, resolutions are never guaranteed. Oh, I'm going to lose weight. I want to fight a turkey or whatever. I guess that wouldn't be a resolution, but you know what I mean. The lose weight one makes the most sense. It's not guaranteed, but putting it out, into the world, saying it out loud, putting it in public changes how I behave. Now you know about it too, right? Now I'm in, you got to keep me honest. And now it's out in the open. This isn't a thing I, wrote down and put on my wall. Hey, this year I'd like to maybe read more. Now it's a public statement, and that's part of the fun of this vlog, is to really kind of light that fire under me. Sometimes you need it, no matter how hard or how much success you've had, you still need that fire. But don't never let that fire burn out. That's crucial. That fire, no one else is going to understand that fire, by the way. No one else is going to feel that fire burning but you, or someone like me who understands that fire. Keep it burning, no matter. Well, I mean, don't kill anybody. Find a healthy way, like this. I'm documenting my work no matter what happens, even if nothing happens. But I'm in it. I'm still here, and I'd love to bring you along with me. If that interests you, then great. You don't need motivation to get your shit done. You just need to show up, and you just need to not quit. I'm tired of motivational noise. I'm exhausted by that. You don't need a pat in the back. I'm not here to necessarily give you a pat in the back, but I've got your back. Happy 2026. Let's get it.